The arena lights blazed like dying stars, and the crowd's roar hit me like a plasma blast, right before they dumped her broken body at my feet, whispering that she was mine to break further, for their twisted amusement. I stood there, Jax Harlan, the undefeated gladiator of Epsilon Station, my augmented arms still humming from the last fight. The alien girl, Alara, they called her, though names meant nothing in this pit, lay crumpled on the blood-streaked floor, her iridescent skin cracked like shattered glass, one wing torn half off her back. Her eyes, those swirling violet voids, flickered with pain, not fear. The overseers laughed from their elevated thrones, the holographic feeds beaming this spectacle to every corner of the human empire. "Entertain us, Harlan," one barked through the speakers. "She's damaged goods from the Vega raids. Make her scream." But as I knelt, pretending to inspect my prize, something twisted in my gut. Not the thrill of victory I'd chased for years, numbing the void left by the war that stole my family. No, this was different. A spark of recognition in her gaze, like she saw through my armored shell to the broken man beneath. What had they done to her? And why did I suddenly care? The crowd hushed, waiting for the violence. I could feel their eyes, million strong, hooked on the feed. Instead, I scooped her up gently, her lightweight frame surprising against my cybernetic enhancements. Gasps rippled through the arena. "He's gone soft," someone jeered. But I ignored them, carrying her toward the exit ramp, my mind racing. This wasn't part of the script. The overseers would come for me. For us. What I didn't know then was that touching her would unravel everything, the Empire's lies, my own buried secrets, and a galaxy-spanning truth that could heal or destroy us all. But that was only the beginning. In the dim glow of my quarters, hidden in the underbelly of Epsilon Station, a sprawling orbital fortress orbiting the ruins of Earth, I laid Alara on the makeshift medbay cot. The station hummed around us, a mechanical beast of steel and circuits, home to 10,000 humans clinging to dominance after the interstellar war. We'd crushed the alien coalitions, or so the propaganda vids claimed, turning their survivors into spectacles or slaves. I was their champion, enhanced with neural implants and prosthetic limbs, a product of the very tech we'd stolen from them. Alara stirred, her breath shallow, like wind through cracked hull plating. Up close, she was ethereal, skin shifting colors with each pulse, faint bioluminescent veins tracing patterns like star maps. But the damage was brutal. Burns from energy weapons, fractures in her delicate bones, and that wing, mangled beyond recognition.
"Why give her to me?"
"Entertainment," they said. "A reward for my 100th win." But I saw the calculation in their eyes. This was a test. Break her or be broken. I activated the black market scanner I'd smuggled in years ago, its holographic display flickering to life. Multiple internal hemorrhages. It droned in a monotone voice. Neural pathways disrupted. Prognosis. Terminal without intervention. Intervention. That meant forbidden alien tech, the kind that could get me spaced if caught. Why risk it? I'd built my life on survival, fighting in the pits to forget the day the aliens glassed my home colony, killing my wife and son. Empathy was a weakness here. Yet, as her eyes fluttered open, locking onto mine, a whisper echoed in my mind, not words, but feelings.
Pain.
Betrayal. A plea. Telepathy? I'd heard rumors about Vega species. What secrets did she hold? I hesitated, hand hovering over the comms to call it in, to hand her back. But then she reached out, her fingers cool against my skin, and a vision flashed, stars exploding, worlds colliding. It vanished as quick as it came, leaving me breathless. Who was she, really? And what had I just invited into my life? The station's alarms blared faintly in the distance, probably another drill. Or so, I told myself. But deep down, I knew the clock was ticking. The overseers wouldn't let this slide. Alara's voice came then, weak but melodic, like chimes in vacuum. "Human, why?" Her accent was strange, vowels elongated, as if speaking through water. I froze. Aliens in the pits weren't supposed to talk. They drugged them silent. But she was different. To heal you, I muttered, surprising myself. I grabbed a nano-injector from my stash, loaded with universal coagulants, human tech, but it might buy time. As I pressed it to her neck, she winced, but didn't pull away. Trust? Or desperation? The injection hissed, and her skin began to knit slowly, the cracks sealing with a faint glow. But her wing remained limp, a reminder of the deeper wounds. They took my essence, she whispered, eyes dimming. The core stolen. Essence? Core? Questions burned in me. The Vega raids, I'd fought in them, piloting drop ships into alien hives, harvesting their tech. Was she a victim of that? Guilt gnawed at me, unbidden. I'd justified it as revenge. But now, face to face, a knock echoed at my door, sharp, insistent. Security? My heart pounded. Hide her?
A fight?
The choices spiraled. What I saw next in her eyes, a flicker of hope, sealed my fate. I dragged a crate over her cot, concealing her just as the door hissed open. Captain Reyes strode in, his uniform crisp, eyes like laser sights. Harlan, the feeds are blowing up. You didn't perform. The crowd wants blood. I forced a grin, the gladiator mask slipping on. Saving the best for a private show, Cap. You know me, always teasing. He eyed the room suspiciously, nostrils flaring. Don't play games. The Imperium doesn't tolerate deviations. Fix it or we'll fix you. As he left, I uncovered Alara, her breathing steadier. But his words lingered like a threat. How long until they came back? And what was this core she mentioned? None of us were prepared for the truth lurking in her shattered form. Days blurred in the underlevels, where the station's guts twisted like forgotten veins, pipes leaking coolant, shadows hiding the dispossessed. I smuggled Alara deeper, to an abandoned maintenance bay I'd claimed as my sanctuary. Here, amid rusted tools and flickering holograms, I worked on her. Her species, she explained in halting bursts, were the Etheri from Vega Prime, beings of energy and matter, symbiotic with their world's crystalline cores. Humans had raided, extracting those cores for power sources, leaving the Etheri damaged, as the Overseers called it. Without her core, Alara was dying, her body destabilizing. Why me? I asked one night, as I calibrated a jury-rigged regenerator using scraps from alien wreckage. The device hummed, bathing her in blue light, easing the pain but not curing it. You saw, she replied, her mind touch brushing my thoughts again. Flashes. My past, the colony's destruction. Pain mirrors pain.
I flinched. Telepathy wasn't just communication. It was intimacy, stripping layers I'd buried. My wife, Lena, screaming as the alien beams vaporized her home. My son, little Kai, gone in an instant. I'd joined the gladiators to drown it in violence, becoming the Empire's tool. But Ilara's presence stirred something dormant. Compassion? Redemption? I taught her human words, shared stories of Earth before the fall, a blue marble now scarred by war. She listened, her wing twitching as it mended slightly under my care. Yet danger closed in. Whispers in the corridors. Harlan's hiding something. I caught glimpses of drones scanning the vents. One evening as I returned with stolen medpacks, a shadow detached from the wall, Reyes again, with 2 guards. Fancy meeting you here, he sneered, weapon drawn. Reports of alien chatter. Care to explain? My implants surged, adrenaline spiking. Fight or flee? I lunged, disarming one guard with a cybernetic punch, but Reyes fired, a stun bolt grazing my side. Pain exploded, but I grabbed Alara, who was half-healed, and we bolted into the ducts. Pursuit echoed behind us. You'll pay for this, traitor. As we crawled through the dark, her hand in mine, a new question burned. Where could we go? The station was a prison in space. But what waited in the outer rings would change everything. Epsilon's outer rings were lawless, a maze of derelict modules where smugglers and exiles scraped by. We holed up in a forgotten pod, its viewports cracked but offering glimpses of the stars. Ilara's condition stabilized, but without her core, full healing was impossible. It calls to me, she murmured, pressing a hand to her chest. Stored in your vaults. The Imperium's vaults, deep in the core levels, guarded by AI sentinels and elite troops. Infiltrating them? Suicide. But her eyes pleaded, and that mind link showed me visions of her world. Floating cities harmonious with nature before humans came like locusts. I planned it meticulously, hacking into station schematics with my implants. Nights blurred into strategy sessions, Alara teaching me ethery tricks, phasing through matter briefly, residual power even damaged. Our bond deepened. Her touches sent warmth through my cold augmentations, awakening feelings I'd thought dead. One dawn cycle. As alarms wailed from a fabricated distraction, I set a false hull breach. We slipped into the vents toward the core. Tension coiled like a spring. What if we failed? What if her core revealed something worse? We reached the vault antechamber, lasers crisscrossing. Alara phased us through one grid, her energy draining. Inside, rows of glowing artifacts, stolen from a dozen worlds. Her core pulsed in a containment field, a crystal orb swirling with light. As I disabled the field, alarms screamed. Guards swarmed. Blasts lit the room. I shielded Alara, my arm taking a hit, circuits frying. We grabbed the core and ran. But Reyes blocked the exit, face twisted in rage. You fool. She's not just any alien. She's their princess. The key to their weapon. She smiled faintly. The veil. I'll guide us. Holding hands, she channeled energy, tearing a rift in space. A portal swirled open, edges crackling with indigo light. We stepped through, the habitat vanishing behind. Emerging, we stood on a platform of translucent crystal, suspended in a sea of stars. The Etherean refuge, a hidden station in the veil, cloaked from physical reality. Beings like Lyrial milled about, their forms varying, some humanoid, others amorphous clouds of light. They stared at us, whispers rippling through the collective mind. An outsider. One hissed, a elder with tendrils for hair. You bring contamination. Lyrial stood tall. He is bonded. My consort. Murmurs grew. The council convened, holographic forms assembling. I felt their probes, judging my worth. Eloan clung to me, her trust a shield. The elder Thaler spoke. The hunters grow bolder because of such bonds. Humans are anchors but weak. Prove your value, or we sever the link. A trial. They thrust me into a simulation, reliving hunter attacks, forcing decisions that tested morality. Save a child or the fleet. Sacrifice self for the many? Each choice echoed my past regrets. I emerged battered, mind raw. He passes, Thaler conceded, but doubt lingered in his eyes. As we settled, Lyrial showed me wonders. Gardens where thoughts bloomed into flowers, libraries of memories accessed by touch. Eloan taught me games, her laughter balm. Intimacy grew, not physical but soul deep. Lyrial's touches conveyed stories, her fears of losing another. Yet shadows loomed. Scouts reported hunters massing, drawn by our bond signal. It's like a beacon, Lyrial confessed one night, as we gazed at swirling galaxies. But without it we dissipate. Why me? I asked finally. Eloan could have chosen anyone. She sighed. Fate, or perhaps your loneliness called to ours. But I sense more. Digging into shared memories, I uncovered fragments. Etherians experimenting with human DNA for stability, Eloan a hybrid. My feeding her activated latent genes. Confrontation brewed. You used me, I accused. Lyrial wept ethereal tears. To save her. To save us. Betrayal stung, but love, nascent, fragile, held. The hunters attacked then, ripping through the veil. Chaos erupted, stations fracturing, beings screaming as parasites latched, draining essence. We fought, my human ingenuity pairing with Etherian power. I rigged explosives from crystal shards, detonating hunter swarms. Lyrial shielded Eloan, her energy waning. In the fray, Thaler fell, his last words a warning, the source on Earth. Earth? The hunters originated there? Revelations cascaded. The corporate scandal I'd exposed, it involved dimensional experiments, unleashing the parasites. Guilt crashed over me. I caused this. Lyriel gripped my hand. No, you can end it. We fled to Earth, the bond our compass. But what awaited? A world I'd fled, now ground zero for cosmic horror. The journey through the veil was a kaleidoscope of wonders and terrors. Portals whisked us past dying stars, where remnants of ancient civilizations whispered warnings. Eloan grew quieter, her bioluminescence fading, the strain of travel taxing her hybrid form. Lyriel and I shared vigils, our minds linked in constant communion. Tell me of your world, she urged, to distract from the encroaching dread. Earth. Bustling megacities under polluted skies, oceans choked with plastic, humanity's hubris in every towering spire. But also beauty, sunsets, over mountains, the warmth of human connection I'd long forsaken. Your people are resilient, she said. Like you. I touched her cheek, feeling the hum of her essence. And yours are eternal. Together, perhaps unbreakable. But doubts gnawed. The bond amplified emotions, making love intense, but also magnifying fears. What if I failed? What if anchoring them doomed Earth? We emerged in Earth's orbit, cloaked by Etherean tech. Below, the planet spun, oblivious. Scans revealed anomalies, energy spikes in the Arctic, where the conglomerate's black site labs hid. We infiltrate, Lyriel planned. Close the rift they opened. Eloan stayed aboard our makeshift vessel, a salvaged Etherean pod. Be safe, father, she called me, the word piercing. Father. Husband. Roles I'd never sought now defining me. Descending in stealth, we landed amid blizzards. The facility loomed, a fortress of steel and secrets. Guards patrolled, drones humming. Using the bond, Lyriel phased us through walls, her form ghosting. Inside, labs buzzed with forbidden tech, portals flickering, scientists in hazmat suits monitoring hunter specimens, caged voids that hungered. We overheard. The breach is stable, harvesting infinite energy. Fools. They'd unleashed apocalypse for profit. Deeper, we found the core, a massive rift, hunters pouring through like ink and water. Alarms triggered. Security swarmed. I fought with improvised weapons, Lyriel blasting energy. Captured, we faced the director, my old boss Harlan Voss. Thorn, you traitorous worm. He revealed the scandal was a cover. They'd discovered the veil, summoned hunters for weaponization. My exposure nearly halted it, hence exile. Now, with your alien whore, we'll control them. Rage surged. Lyriel weakened, the rift draining her. In desperation, I accessed the bond fully, merging minds completely. Her power flowed through me. I shattered restraints, unleashing a wave that sealed the rift. Hunters shrieked, dissolving. Voss fled, but justice would come. As the facility crumbled, we escaped. Earth safe, but at cost. Lyriel's essence faded, the merge taxing her. Back in orbit, she lay in my arms. You saved us, Elias.